What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick, and in today's video we will be going over pulsechain. What is pulsechain? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. So I am here on pulsechain.com, and as you can see, let's get started from the top. So the Pulse testnet is live. So first of all, pulsechain is a fork of Ethereum, and Ethereum is in layer 1 blockchain, the number 2 cryptocurrency in the world. And you can build smart contracts on top of Ethereum. So basically, pulsechain will be the exact same thing with a few improvements and upgrades, faster transactions. Ethereum runs about 15 to 30 seconds per transaction, and so far on the testnet for pulsechain, it's been like less than 3 seconds, 5 seconds, things like that. Really quick transactions, cheap transaction fees. There's a burn-in mechanism, so it's deflationary. So it's a bunch of different upgrades to Ethereum, yet it's still a fork of Ethereum. So as you can see, you can play with it on the testnet. For those of you who are familiar with cryptocurrency, you know how to, you know there's a testnet and a mainnet. So testnet is not the real thing. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a testnet, so you can just play around with it. So currently the second version of the pulsechain testnet is live with validator rotation, registration, and staking. You can connect MetaMask now to view a copy of all your ERC20 tokens. So you are also getting a copy. This is going to be the world's largest airdrop. You're going to get a copy of every ERC token that you have in your MetaMask wallet, or your Ledger, or your Trezor, whatever wallet you have. If you have it during the period of the snapshot, you will get a copy 1-to-1 of that on pulsechain. So we talk about hex a lot on this channel. So if you have 100,000 hex at the time of the pulsechain snapshot, then you will have 100,000 p hex on pulsechain. So you'll have 100,000 on pulsechain and 100,000 on Ethereum, like normal. So you basically doubled your bag, and still a high likelihood that price will reach parity, which basically means the price will be the same on both chains. So you get a bunch of free money for literally nothing, just owning the ERC20. So let's go ahead and go down here. As you can see, these are the RPC settings that you put into the MetaMask. So I'll go really quick into MetaMask and see. We'll go back. I'll make another video on that, actually going through the testnet, so you guys can see what it looks like. Let's go down. So there's a sacrifice for this. So the sacrifice was around July of last year, of 2021. And you basically sacrifice, so every dollar you sacrifice, you receive 10,000 points towards Pulse. So we're assuming that the points will turn into tokens. So for every dollar that you sacrifice, you receive 10,000 Pulse tokens in return. You could have donated to the SENS Foundation, which is an organization that does longevity research, or you could have just sent it to the pulsechain sacrifice address. This does not apply to us right now because we are way past the sacrifice phase. You can come to the website, watch this video if you want to. You can hear we'll read this quote by Aubrey de Grey, who's a member of the SENS Foundation. "I want to thank Richard Hart. What he's doing for us is spectacular. We have been having a very good year with income. A big expansion of our activities is coming. Thanks to the pulsechain airdrop, those plans are going to explode into another level entirely. Our work will be greatly accelerated, resulting in huge numbers of lives saved in the future. As a direct result of Richard's supporters' wonderful generosity, we're all working tirelessly to keep up with donors and hold up our part of the process. Thank you so very much, Richard." So yeah, there's a bunch sacrifice. I think nearly $1 billion sacrificed during this sacrifice phase, maybe a little less. When we get into the next video where we talk about PulseX, it was $1 billion for sure. It's craziness. So volume bonus multiplier. This is going over sacrifice stuff. So let's go over the pulsechain goals. So increase Ethereum's value. So Ethereum's fees will be lowered by sharing its load. So right now, if you had any experience with Ethereum in the past or this past bull run, you know that the gas fees were ridiculous. I mean, crazy. So during the NFT craze and mass hysteria of crypto, FOMO, everybody fear of missing out, things like that, gas fees were like $100, $200. I remember me personally, I had SHIB, made a lot of money on SHIB, and I was going to sell SHIB, and I didn't have enough gas to sell the SHIB, so I had to go buy more Ethereum on an exchange, send it to my wallet in order to even sell the SHIB that I had. I think it was like a $250 transaction fee. That's ridiculous, bro. It's just craziness. Okay, so on Pulsechain, so far on the testnet, the fees have been like almost less than a penny. Like, that's how it should be. So you want to pay less than a penny, or you want to pay $250 for the same exact type of transaction. So by Pulsechain coming out, they're going to lower the load. So the reason that the fees were that high is because Ethereum was just congested. It was a bunch of people, trying to do transactions all at the same time. So gas fees had to be higher to accommodate for all of the transactions, all of the congestion. When Pulsechain comes out, it's going to take some of that economic energy and put it over to Pulsechain. And so now you have slightly less on Ethereum, and then you have some on Pulsechain, so it evens out. So it's going to make the gas fees lower on Ethereum, and the gas fees are going to be already relatively very cheap on Pulse. So we're going to increase Ethereum's value through that way. So we're going to enrich ETH users as well. So Pulsechain will re-enable priced out use cases. Instead of launching empty like most ghost chains, Pulsechain brings the ETH system state and ERC20s. This rewards holders and founders of Ethereum-based projects. So like we discussed earlier, everybody who has an ERC20 in their wallet at the time of the snapshot will get an exact copy of it over there on Pulse. So you don't have to. The benefit of this is you not having to like bridge over your assets. You don't necessarily have to bring in new economic energy into this chain. You already have everything that you own now. You're getting a copy of, so you'll have the exact same thing over there. The projects will work the same. In the past couple of weeks, we've already seen with the Ethereum merge that this is possible. This is done, right? So Ethereum had a merge. They had proof of work, proof of stake, and then there's another fork that's called Ethereum Fair. And with Hex, it was perfectly copied over to all three chains, so it works flawlessly. Now, not all projects are like Hex. That's to each his own. But we see that it works for a project like Hex that is immutable, no admin keys. It's perfectly done project. You know what I'm saying? There's no continuous work being done to it. It's a finished product. So finished products will benefit the most with these copies. So let's see. Enrich ERC20 and NFT users. So the launch of Pulsechain is the largest airdrop in history. Thousands of Ethereum-based tokens and NFTs received their free Pulsechain versions. This new gold rush contains the value discovery of thousands of tokens and NFTs on Pulsechain. If you always want it to be be a whale in a certain ERC or NFT, maybe now you can be. So this goes back to what I was just saying a few seconds earlier with the merge of Ethereum. So you got proof of work and proof of stake. On the proof of work chain, we've seen that the value started at 0. So that's where all cryptocurrencies value starts at 0. And not a lot of people were there. So with Hex in particular, there were some lucky ones there. And now, it's still very cheap to get in. They were able to spend a couple $100s and get millions and millions of Hex tokens. Okay, they were able to secure squid positions, dolphin positions, whatever the case is, shark positions, with a relatively low amount of money. Now, the caveat is this chain is like a few days old, like 7 days old, a week old, whatever the case is. There's not much liquidity, so they have a bunch of these tokens. Yet they can't necessarily sell immediately. But if you're in the Hex community, if you have the mindset of a Hexakin, delayed gratification, if you understand how markets work, you understand that this will be here. You know what I'm saying? This chain will be here for the long run. So you don't necessarily need to sell right away. You don't need to sell immediately. We're not trading here, okay? We're investing. So this is a long-term play. Go ahead, stake that Hex that you got over there on Ethereum proof of work, and just wait for the value to come. As time goes on, the value will go up, okay? Where you make the most money is in low liquidity assets with product market fit, and Hex is a low liquidity asset with product market fit on Ethereum, and now it is on proof of work, Ethereum proof of work, and Ethereum Fair. So low liquidity, okay? You want to get in when it's low liquidity, and it's extremely low liquidity right now. It's something to think about. This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to go over there, but you have your copies. If you had Hex already, if you already had some ERC20s, then you have copies over there that you can play with. You can move around, you know what I'm saying? You can swap it for different other ERC20s and just have fun with it, okay? It's there to play around with, not much value there now, But looking 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead, you know what I'm saying, 15, 20 years ahead, there could be a ton of value, okay? So let's go ahead and move on. Easy to use. So your MetaMask wallet just works. You only have to change a single setting to access PulseChain. ETH holders can transact for free with freemium Pulse. So it's super easy. Like, you use MetaMask. Look at my other videos on the channel of how to connect with MetaMask. You just change the RPC setting, and I'll make a video on that, on how to do it for PulseChain. And PulseChain, I'm just going to show you PulseChain, because PulseChain and Ethereum are the main two that you need to be worried about. So yeah, it's just a plug and play. It's literally just a simple setting in there. Okay, so lower PulseChain fees and serve more users. So PulseChain increases the throughput of Ethereum by 4 times by using 3-second block times. Ethereum's average block time is around 13 seconds. So like I was saying in the beginning of the video, the transaction speed for Ethereum is like 13 to 30 seconds, depending on, you know, what type of transaction you're trying to do. I've had transactions that's taken a couple minutes, you know what I mean? It's rare, but for the most part, you'll get around 30 seconds of transaction times. With PulseChain, you're getting 3-second transactions, so super fast, way fast, okay? And you can see that on the testnet, okay? So the testnet is there for you to play with. You can get some free coins from the faucet, and you can transact with them. You can make simple swaps, and you can see how fast it actually is. So if you're familiar with using Ethereum, you know that it does indeed take about 15 seconds, which is not a long time at all. But if you want something faster, you want to, you know, keep moving, you're doing a lot of transactions, whatever the case is, speed will be a benefit over here on PulseChain. So remove pollution. So by replacing proof of work miners with proof of stake validators, PulseChain doesn't burn, waste any energy, making it environmentally friendly. So PulseChain is proof of stake. So if you know proof of work is basically you have miners, you have a GPU, you're running it, you're using electricity to run that GPU 24/7, and you're mining whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum tokens. You're using electricity to mine these tokens. With PulseChain, you are using validators. You are staking your Pulse, so you can take your stack of Pulse and you can validate it to, or you can delegate it to a validator, and you can stake it there. And this staking mechanism works the exact same way as electricity, except it's staking with your Pulse, your actual coins, your tokens. So it's not wasting any energy, and it's environmentally friendly. Okay, so it's another benefit, proof of stake. Matter of fact, Ethereum just moved to proof of stake. So as you can see, they were getting away from proof of work anyways. So that is where we're headed overall in the cryptocurrency space. So improved game theory. So Pulse has 0% inflation. Validators only earn fees, and 25% of the fees are burnt to reduce the circulating supply. So 25% of the fees are burnt to reduce the circulating supply, which makes this a deflationary token. So when you have a lot of demand and you have supply that is deflating, what's going to happen? Okay, you got a pent-up demand with a supply that's constantly deflating. The price goes up and to the right, all right? And that is what we're in crypto for. We're in it to make money, okay? We get ultra wealthy, you know what I'm saying? Retire our parents, family, friends, generational wealth. That's what we're here for, guys, you know. If you're in it for the tech, you know, kudos to you, but for the most part, we're in it to make extreme amounts of money. All right, so empower PulseChain holders. So PulseChain's native token PLS, Pulse, can be staked and delegated to validators that reward the delegators with the largest percentage of fees. So you can go ahead and use your Pulse, delegate it to a validator, and earn some fees. Interoperability, bridging. So ETH can be traded on the Pulse network, and Pulse can be traded on the Ethereum network. Bridging can also be done to other smart contract capable networks. So ETH on PulseChain, you can send ETH to Pulse Bridge contract on ETH, which locks it and issues PETH with Pulse ETH on PulseChain at a 1-to-1 ratio. Pulse on Ethereum, you can send Pulse to ETH Bridge contract on PulseChain, which locks it and issues ePulse with ETH Pulse on the Ethereum network 1-to-1. This can also work for ERC20. So I'll go further in another video, actually explaining the bridge and going through the bridge on what happens. But you're basically bridging through networks, right? So you have one network, Ethereum, and then you have this other network, Pulse. So you can't necessarily just trade without a bridge, okay? You need some type of highway to get across and into the other the other network, and this is where the bridge comes in. So if you wanted to take some of your ERC20 tokens and get them over to Pulse, then you would need to use this bridge to go ahead and do that. So scroll down to trading. So thousands of ERC20 tokens on PulseChain can trade on PulseChain's Uniswap, and similar at launch since Ethereum's state is included. There will be an ePulse ETH pair on Uniswap on the Ethereum network and a pETH Pulse pair on Uniswap on the PulseChain network. There may be ePulse trading pairs on other smart contract enabled chains, and exchanges may list Pulse and any of the thousands of tokens on the PulseChain network. So matter of fact, this has not been updated, but they have PulseX. So PulseX will be the premier DEX on PulseChain. And I'll make a video going over exactly PulseX. We'll make a video on the testnet of PulseX and see how it looks. It's a beautiful, beautiful setup, UI, user interface. So we'll go over that, and you guys will know more details on what exactly that is. So nomenclature: anything locked on the Ethereum network bridge to the Pulse network will be known as P anything. So example, pETH or ETH locked on Ethereum bridge to the Pulse networks. Hex is known as EHEX, short for Hex on the Ethereum network, while Hex on PulseChain is called pHex, short for Hex on the Pulse network. So that's just another thing. If you have Hex on Ethereum and you have Hex on Pulse, and you have pHex and then you have EHEX, all right? Just nomenclature. And that is about it for PulseChain. So if you guys want to read this for yourselves, we'll leave a link in the description box below, so you go ahead and check this out for yourself. And in the next video, I go over PulseX, which is the premier DEX, the decentralized exchange that is similar to Uniswap. It's a Uniswap fork, and it goes hand in hand with PulseChain. They had the exact same thing. They had a sacrifice phase as well. So stay tuned for that video. If you enjoyed this, go ahead, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, tell a friend, and as always, may infinite abundance flow to you now and forever, my friends. I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace.